Hello everyone, welcome back again. My name is Jesse, and in this wonderful tutorial we're trying to see how to work with a very nice package called Streamlit. So this is going to be a very simple crash course on how to use Python Streamlit. So what is Streamlit? So Streamlit is a very powerful tool for building ML2s, right? It's a very powerful framework for building ML2. So now let's see how to work with it. So first of all, in case you don't have it, you can just go to open your terminal, then let me expand it, then install it. So it's going to be pip install Streamlit. That is how to install it right on your system. So it is recommended that you can also use a virtual environment to also work. Okay, now let's see what we're doing. So if I check my directory, there's an image and then there's an mp4, right? So we'll be trying to work on it. I'm just going to create a file called app.py, which is going to be the name of the app we'll be trying to build, right? What we're using for our tutorial. Okay, perfect. So after installing it now, if you come here, so that we have our app here. Perfect. So let's see how to work with it. So first of all, it comes as a CLI and as well as a package. So in case you want to see the functions of the CLI, you're just going to go with our Streamlit -help, right? So this is going to give you the option of seeing all the commands that comes with the CLI. Okay, so even as it's loading, let's check how to work on it as a package. So in case you want to work with it as a package, just go to open your terminal, your file, then import Streamlit as st. So that is all that you need to enable you to be able to work with Streamlit. It's a very simple package, but very powerful framework. So let's see whether it has come. So this is the command line. So in case you want to run it, it's going to be Streamlit run, then the name of your script. So these are the various aspects you can also do. So let's start with it, right? So I'm just going to go to my location here, then I'm going to run it as Streamlit run, then the name of the app.py, right? So it's going to run and open a local port which you can use for your work. So that's opening this port, so it's automatically going to open your default browser. So let's use Chrome for now. So we'll be using Chrome. Yeah, let's cancel and then let's use Chrome, right? So I'll paste it here. Perfect. So we'll be using Chrome to run it. So let's go back to how it's going to be. So this is going to be a very simple tutorial. Perfect. So that is how to work with it, right? Perfect. Now let's see the first thing that you can do. So in case you want to work with test, we'll be working with normal test and then title. So it's going to be like this: st.title, then you pass in your title. So this is going to be Streamlit tutorials, right? Perfect. So if I run it, it's going to give us two options. You can have the rerun, or we can press on R to rerun, or you can just go with always run. Any of them is going to work. You can also come and see it from here, rerun, and then clear cache. Okay, now let's see with the rerun, then later I'll move on to always run. So Streamlit tutorial. So that is how to write a title. So in case I want to also write a header, it's going to be st, it's going to be a header, and then a subheader. So to do a header, it's going to be st.header. Then I'll pass in my test. So this is a header, right? So if I run it, and I can just go with rerun, then it's going to show it here as a header, right? So you see this is totally different from this one. You can also do another one for the subheader, which is going to be subheader, and then this is going to be, this is a subheader. Perfect. So if I rerun it again, so that it's going to show us this is a subheader. Perfect. So these are the various ways of putting in tests as a title and test as a header and a subheader. Now let's see the other things you can also do. So in case you also want to check for a normal test, right? So it's going to be a normal test. This normal test. It's going to be st.test. Then I'll pass in my test. So hello Streamlit. Perfect. And I run with R. Right, Streamlit. Then let's go with always run to keep on running. So hello Streamlit, so that this is totally different from the other one. So that is how to work with text. You can also work on Markdown. So Markdown, so it's going to be st.markdown, and then as a simple example of Markdown is like, you can just use something like this. It's going to give us a broader one. So this is a Markdown, and then it's going to print this one as a Markdown, so that this is totally is big like this header. That is how to work with a Markdown format. So now let's see some other stuff you can also do about errors, and then those colorful tests, right? Colorful tests. So an example of colorful tests, that for example, in case you want to show for the success of something, just go with st.success. Then it's going to bring the alert, right? So let's say it's going to be successful. So if I run it, it's going to show it as green, right? Successful. Very interesting. So another one you can also do is that you can also do for st.info to show information. Then you can also do another one for something different, like warning. So you can just put in as a warning. So this is a warning. Perfect. So now it's showing it as successful, information, and warning. All of them have different colors. Very, very interesting. So another thing you can also do is I can also do for error, in case you want to show for an error message. So let's give a simple error message. So it can be any stuff like this is an error, danger. Right? So it's going to give us an error. So this is an error, instead of giving us as red. So this is just like the Bootstrap stuff, but it's very nice, very interesting. Now in case you want to also do exception, you can also do st.exception. Then it's going to be an exception that you want to run. So let's give it as, let's say, name error. It can be any error that you want, name error. Then you can place inside the particular stuff. So let's say name 3 not defined, something like this. So if you run it, that's giving us an error, right? Because there's an invalid syntax somewhere. So let's tick off this. Perfect. So if you give it off now, close. So character literal, so you have to tick off this. So these are all how the errors is coming, right? Syntax error. So you can just copy this same syntax error and then use it here, just like we have, right? If I save it, now you see that it's working perfectly, and it's going to show the error there. So error, name 3 not defined. So that is how to put exception errors. Very interesting. So finally, let's check some other stuff you can also do. These are all the error colorful tests. In case you also want to get help, right? So get help for something, for any function about any Python stuff about Python, you can just do it something like this. So let me go up, st.help. This is a very cool feature. Then I can just put something like range. So it's going to print the range help documentation. So this is how it works, right? Very, very interesting how to use range. Very, very cool. Very nice. Now let's see some other stuff. So we have learned about how to put on colors and test. Now let's see how to write a test. So this is going to be writing a test. All that we did is still writing test, but there's another powerful function that can use to write test, which is not only just for writing test, but also for writing the super function that can be used to do a lot of things, right? So you can just say test with write something like that. So it's going to print it perfectly for us, just like this. And I can also do something interesting. In case I want to work on range, I can also put it here. So it's not just test here. This one can go more than just test. If I go with functions, commands, objects, it's going to show them perfectly. So that is a very powerful super function, right? I call it a super function. It can be used to do a lot of things. So these are the various ones you can do for the write. Now let's see some other stuff you can also do. In case you also want to work with images, right? Can I just also go with, like, let's say from pillow, let's open a simple image, import image. Then I'm just going to open a simple image. The image is going to be image dot open. Then I'm going to open our image as example dot jpg. Right, so it's an image that we can find it here. You can find this image here, right? This image here. So we have an image and an mp4. So in case I want to show it out, I can just go with st.image. Then I'll pass in my image there. So that is all to do it. So if I do that, I'm just going to bring it as a very broad one. So if I save it, it's going to be very big. So that's loaded the image there, very nice. But I can also set the width to something like a certain figure, let's say 300, and then it's going to reduce it. You can also add captions to it. It's going to be a simple image. So if I do that, it's going to reduce it and then bring a caption for us. So you see that this simple image caption here, that reduces to that. So that is how to work with images. Now let's see how to work with videos. So let's say you have a video. See how I spelled video. Video is with us. In case you have a simple video, you also want to work on it, you can just go with, let's say, our vid file. It's going to be open. We're going to open the file that we have, which is going to be example.mp4. Then you pass in the particular read byte to read it. Then we can move on to vid byte. It's going to be our video vid file dot read. Right, this is a long format, but you can also make it straight away. Instead of doing this, you can just go straight away with putting it straight from here, right? Not this long stuff like this. You can also do it like this. Any of them is going to work. Then you pass in our st.video and you pass in our vid file. Any of them will work. If I run it, so it's going to show the image perfectly there. So this is the image, very nice image. So the image is showing here. I can just click on it. There's going to play the image for us. They're very interesting, right? With this little code, it's able to do all of these things. So now let's move on to the other ones we can also do. We can also add not only images, but in case you also want to add audio. So to add an audio, I don't have an audio file, but you can also do the same thing. So it's going to be an audio file. Then I'll open the particular audio file that I want. Let's say example music.mp3. Then I'm going to read it as read bytes. Then here I can also use the same thing that I did, right? Dot read, just like the previous one. Then I will pass in my st.audio. Then I'll pass it here, right, as my audio file. Then I'll give it the format. I'll give the format for it. So format. So the format is going to be audio / mp3 or any kind of format that you have. So that is how you can do that. I don't have an audio file, so we just move on straight away with it. So that's the basic idea about working with images, videos, and then audio. Now let's see some other stuff you can also do, which is called a widget, right? So widget. So in case I have a widget I want to use, like something like a checkbox, so you can just go straight away with if st.checkbox, then you pass in whatever thing. So let's say show and then hide, as we did previously in the previous tutorial. Then I can just put in something, the st.test, my st.test, and I can put in showing or hiding widgets, right? Something like that. If I save it, it's going to show it here perfectly. So you see that now it's showing the show or hide, and I can just click on it. It's going to show me the test that I have here. Very interesting. So very, very cool and very simple. So that is for checkbox. You can also do for radio buttons. So to work for radio buttons, it's going to be, you can just define something like status, right? You want to status, then st.radio. You want to show the status, so what is the status. What is your status? Status or status. Anyhow you pronounce. Then you supply a tuple or a list. So it can be a tuple. It's going to be active, any tuple or a list, then inactive. Perfect. So that is all that you do. So the moment I save it, it's going to show it here as status, right? But what is your status? And then you can just click on this one. So in case you want to link it to a particular function to do something, just go with if our status is equal to the particular, let's say active. Then I want you to say dot, let's say header, subheader. Let's use something different, or let's use something like success, right? You're active. So if I save it like that, now it's active, right? So I've linked this status to this one, so we say that you're active. If I go with this, then it's going to vanish, right? So that's the basic idea. That one vanishes away. So that's the basic idea about using it. You can also bring else if here. So else, and put in another one. So st dot warning, right? Inactive. So activate, something like that, right? Inactive, so activate. So that is the basic idea about it. So it is very, very interesting and very, very intuitive. That is in case you want to do for radio buttons. Now let's see how to also work for not only just radio buttons, but in case you also want to work for something else, right? Totally SelectBox, so that is showing it here. So this is going to be for SelectBox. So SelectBox, we have SelectBox, and we also have Multiselect. So for a SelectBox, it's going to be like this. So can just go with occupation. Let's do something simple. Then this is going to be st. Let me bring it up. Dot select. I select box. Then I'm going to supply the whatever thing I want to do. So it can be something like occupation. Let's make it something. Your occupation. Then I'll bring in my tuple, right? I'm going to bring in my tuple of text that I want to use, or it can be a list. So let's try a list also. It's going to be a programmer. You can also have a data scientist. Another occupation that you can use is, let's say, doctor. Another one is, let's say, businessman, right? Something like that. So if I go straight away to this, now we have our stuff, we have our list, and then we have our options. Perfect. So that is the basic idea. So I can just go with st.write. You can also use write, and then just pass in something. So you selected this option, then I'm going to pass in our occupation. Perfect. So if I save it now, if I come down here, it's going to show perfectly. So loading your occupation to programmer. So I can just select here. So we have doctors, data scientists, businessman. So data scientist. So you selected this option, it's going to show data scientist. Perfect. So that's how to work with SelectBox. So in case you also want to work with multiple select, whereby you can select multiple stuff, you can also do that. So let's add something like location. That is where the person works. Then we're just going to go with st.multiselect. Then I'll pass in where do you work, right? Then here, so I'm just passing another stuff. So it can be a tuple or a list, any of them. So let's use a tuple for now. So it's going to be this. And I'm going to pass in a place that the person works with. Let's say London. Then another one is going to be New York. I can't spell New York. Then another one is going to be, say, Accra. Accra is in Ghana. Then another one is going to be, let's say, Kyiv. Kyiv is in Ukraine. Then another one is going to be Nepal. Right, something like that. So perfect. So we have a location, so it's going to show it perfectly here. And now you are saying choose an option, right? Perfect. So it's going to show where do you work, different options. So we have, I can select London, I can select 2. Instead of when I select, it picks it up also, right? I can also click again, then I can also choose Accra, right, or Kyiv or something. So that is working very nice. This is a very nice package. So I can also do something like this, st.right. Then I can just go use selected. Then I can just put in the normal Python function, length of location. It's going to count it. Then I can just go 2 options or 2 location. Let's save it. So perfect. So just selected 2 locations. So if I just go back to here and also click on another one, then I'll select Accra. Now you selected 3 locations. Perfect. So that's how to work with it, right? It's a very simple package. Apologies for the noise. Okay, now let's see the last thing we can also do for the widget, which is the slider. So to work with the slider, it's going to be something like this. Let's make it like let's add something like age, right? Then you can just go st.slider, then you can just pass in what is your age, right? Or let's make it something like your level instead of age. People don't want to tell their age. Level, right? Then we can just pass in the next argument, which is going to be the upper limit and the lower limit. So the upper limit of your level is going to be level 1, then the lower limit is going to be, the upper limit is going to be level 5, and the lower limit is going to be level 1. That is how to work with it in a very simple and nice way, right? So perfect. So now I can just go straight away and then save it. So when I save it, it's now going to show perfectly the level there. Perfect. So now what is your level is showing. Then I can just go here. So that is now, if I click on this, I can actually drag it. So it is dragging. You can drag it to another point. So now it is at 3. Perfect, right? So see that now it's at 3. So that's how to work with sliders. Very, very nice. You can use to do a lot of things. So let's move on to some interesting stuff you can also do. That is the final one for the widget, which is going to be buttons, right? So how do you add buttons? So to add a button, just go with st button, then you can just part in a simple button. Perfect. So it's going to bring a button. So in case you want to add a button to something, you want to add a function to the button, then you can just do something like if st.button. So let's call it as, let's say, about. Then you can just put in st.test Streamlit. It's cool, man. This thing is so cool, right? So that is how to. So this is how to add a simple button. But in case you want to attach the button to something, when I click on this, now it's going to show that Streamlit is so cool. Perfect, right? So that's how to attach a button, a function to a button. Very, very interesting. Now we have worked and talked about a lot. So now let's move on to the next aspect, which is very, very useful. So the next thing we'll be doing is that how do you receive test input, which is very interesting because most app that is the most important aspect of any app, right? To be able to receive input from the user. So how do you do that? So there are several ways of doing it. So let's try something like, let's say your name, right? You're going to give something like, let's say first name. Then I'm just going to put in st.test underscore input. So if I go with test underscore input, now I can put in my, so enter your name, your first name, right? Something like this. Then I can just put, say, let's say type here. So perfect. So the first one is what is going to be shown, right? So this you can't delete, but this is what you can be able to delete, right? Perfect. So if I save it, now it's going to show it down here. So now enter your first name. So this you can't delete the first one, but the second one is the one that you can delete. So I can delete this and then paste in anything there, right? So that's how to do a test input. Okay, so in case you are thinking about how to do that. So now let's see the next thing we can do. So the next thing that after I have done the test input, you can also do something like, let's say if our st.button, let's add something to it, is equal to, let's put something there like, let's say submit, right? You are submitting the name, then you can just pass in like, let's call the result is equal to first name dot title, right? Let's make it like this. Then you can just bring it out to st.success, then your result. So let's save it. So now if I click on, it's going to refresh. So perfect. So we have our submit button here, so I can just pass in a name there. So let's give it as, let's say, Jesse. Now if I click on submit, voila, Jesse. So that is how to add a test button, right? So it is very, very useful and can be used to do a lot of things. So in the coming tutorials, we've seen how to employ all of these things. Now let's move on to the next one, in case you also want to do test area. So I'll just copy the same thing because it's almost the same thing. For a test area, let me bring it up. It's going to be a test area, right? So to do a test area, it's going to be like this. So we're going to change this one from input to area. So then we're going to change this one and this one and then this one. I'm going to change all of them to, let's give it as message, right? So if I go back here, I'm going to change it to a message. So this is the test area here, right? So I can just, hello world, this is Jesse working with Streamlit, something like this, right? So I can just go with submit. Now it's going to bring it out perfectly for us. Right, hello world, this is Jesse working with Streamlit. So that is how to work with test area. Now that is not the only thing you can also do. So you can also do some input too that you want. So let's give another example. Input of date input, which is going to be just import. So we're going to import in date. So import date time. Then we can just work on today. Today's date is going to be st.date input. Then I can pass in today is, then I'll pass in my date time dot date time dot now. So perfect. It's going to show the date perfectly for us. That is loading. Perfect. Now I see that has shown us the date, right? Very, very interesting. So that is today's date. Okay, that is if you are watching it from the future. This is today's date. Okay, now we can also do another one for time. So time is also going to be something the same thing. It's going to be, say, the time. The time is going to be something like st.time input. And then now here I can just paste in. So the time is, then I will just use the normal stuff. I can also do something like the daytime dot time. Perfect. So that is how to add time to it. Very interesting, right? So that this is the time. This is the time. I can just pass in my values there. So we have seen how to work with daytime. I've seen how to work with test, and then we have seen a lot of things. Now let's see some very cool stuff, then you move on. So the next thing we can also do, in case you want to do JSON display stuff, so let's call that displaying of stuff again. So I want to display JSON. I have a JSON format I want to display, so I can just go with st.test. let's call that display JSON. Display JSON. So we'll be displaying JSON. So we're not going to import JSON, but we're going to be able to use it to work. So st.json. Then I can put in a JSON stuff there. So let's give it something like this. So the name. So let's call it as, let's say, Jesse. Everybody likes his name. And then let's give another one for, say, not age, but let's say gender, right? Then male, something like that, right? So if I go straight away to this, it's going to automatically detect that this is JSON and then print it there for us in a very nice way. So you see that down, it's showing it in a very nice way. So it can be used to do a lot of the APIs you want to do, right? Very, very interesting and very nice. So that is for the JSON. Now, in case you also want to display raw code, right? Not to serialize, but to display raw code. So let's say I want to show a function or a code in my program. I just will do the same thing here. So there are two methods. So the first method is going to be st.test. Let's go to display raw code. Then it's going to be something like this. So st.code as the first stuff. Then I can just put in something. So let's go to import numpy as np. So it's going to show this particular stuff as Python code itself. So now it's showing it with a very nice indentation, with a very nice pictures, right? Colorization. Then that is in case you want to display raw code. Finally, in case you also want to display the other alternative, display raw code with, this is going to show everything. It's going to show all kinds of stuff. It's going to be with st.echo, right? Then you just pass in whatever thing you want to do. So this is going to show comment, everything placed there. So there's going to be this will also show, this will also show as a comment, right? This is a comment, it will show. Then I can just do my imports. Let's say pandas as pd, then I'll do my df pd.dataframe. Perfect. So something like that. So if I run this, it's actually going to show everything from here to the end of the script. Instead of just showing it here. So this is also showing the comment as well as the code itself, but it's not going to execute it. So that's very interesting, very nice. Okay, now let's do some interesting stuff. It's going to be Progressbar, and then you do the spinner. So anytime you run it again, anytime you run, if I save it and I run it, so it's showing running, then it's going to show loading for some of them. So in case you want to do Progressbar for that, you can also do that. So let's import time. Going to import time, then going to call it as my bar, then st.progress. I can't spell progress. Then I pass in the particular value 0, right? So I can just do it for p in range, or let's say 10. Do whatever thing you want to do. So my bar dot progress is equal to p plus 1. So if I run it like this, now it's going to work perfectly and show a progress bar. And now it's showing a progress bar, right? So that is how it's going to be. Perfect. Right, it's showing a progress bar. So that is one way of working with it. So in case I also want to show a spinner, I can also do the same thing. So it can be with st.spinner. Then I can just say, like, let's say waiting or loading. Then I can pass in whatever thing I want to do. So let's go to time plus sleep. Let's give it as 5. And then finally we can just go with st.success finish. Can't spell finish. Perfect. So let's see how it's going to be. So now it's showing waiting, the waiting that I tested, I typed here. Now it's going to be showing after finished. So that is how to work with spinners or spinners. So there's another one interesting that you can also do, which is the balloons. It's going to be st.balloon, and then voila, I'm going to show balloon. It's supposed to be balloon, not balloons, right? I'm going to show balloons up. Is that how you spell balloon? Maybe I don't know how to spell it well. I think it's supposed to be O, right? I've forgotten how to spell balloon. How do you spell balloon? Can somebody tell me how to spell balloon? Balloon. Oh, this is supposed to double L. Yeah, so this is how to spell balloon. So let's try it and see. So let's add the S to it. See how spelling can be a problem when you are programming. Wow, I said a nice showing a balloon. Very, very nice, right? Did you see it? Let's do it again. So to show it, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hooray! Very, very nice. So it is very interesting and very cool. So we are done with most of them. Now let's see some other aspects you can also do. So the other one we can do is sidebars. So all that we have done so far, you can put it at the sidebar. So let's see an example. So in case I want to put a sidebar, it can just be the normal sidebar dot the particular stuff. So let's call it as header. I go with this, and I can just put, so let's say about. So if I click on it, it's going to show this header as a sidebar. So let's see how it's going to be. So now it is showing. Now if you go here, so it's going to show this particular stuff here. Let's go off with the balloon. No more balloon. It's going to show this stuff here. So if I click on it, now you see that the about that you type there is there, right? I can also add another one, not only just for st.sidebar.test. Then I can just put say this is Streamlit tutorial, right? So it's also going to show it there perfectly. So it's not only just this thing that is showing you this is Streamlit tutorial. So it's very, very interesting and very, very powerful that you can do. So these are the various stuff you can also do. Now finally, I just close it like this. I can also add the final stuff to it, which is functions. So in case you want to make your create functions, you can also do that. So it's going to be like a normal function. So def, let's call it as run multiple, or yeah, something like that. Run function. Let's give it as a run function. FSN. In case you want to run this particular function, then I can just do, let's say, return range 100. Can be any stuff. Perfect. So I've written a function, but in case I want to show the function here, I can just go straight away with this particular option. So let's see how to do that. Right, to show the particular function. So now if for it to work, I have to go with st.write, then I'll pass in my run function. Perfect. So it's going to run, then it's going to show the run function here. So finish, no more balloon. You see that the function has come perfectly, right? So in case you want to save and then increase the performance of your function, just bring the @st.cache. Perfect, right? So it's going to make it faster and then increase the performance by caching the result, so that anytime you are running, it's not going to load everything, but it's going to bring it perfectly for us. So, perfect. So that's how to work with functions. So the other stuff you can also do plots. So to do plots, there are several stuff. So to do plots, it's going to be st.py plot. Then you put in whatever plot that you want to put there, right? So that is how to do that. So let's put any kind of plot that you want to put there. So that's for plots, but it can also work for data frames, and also you can also do for tables, right? So to work for data frame, this is going to be st.dataframe. Then you pass in your data frame here. And to work with tables, you can also do the same thing. So it's going to be st.table. Then you pass in your table here. So these are the various stuff you can do with Streamlit, right? It's a very, very powerful and very, very nice framework, and you guys to do a lot of things. So I hope you have learned a lot. So the basic idea is that you're just going to import Streamlit, right? Then you just go with title for title, header for headers, text for text, markdown, success, help, write, and several of them. So thank you for watching this tutorial. In case you have any question or contribution, you can just put in the comment section below. And in case you have not subscribed to this channel, you can also subscribe to this channel and then click the notification button, so that anytime there's a new video, you can have an update. And then check the links below and check the website for some interesting stuff. Stay tuned for more with Streamlit. Thank you and stay blessed.